Hey guys, it's Nellie here from the 6570 Family Project. I hope you are doing so well today. And as always, we are here helping families that are raising young women today build these amazing foundations of worth, esteem, and confidence before they leave home so they are equipped for the world and ready to go out and do whatever they were designed to do. Well, I had an experience just this past week as one of my own went past that 6570 bridge. Now, 6570 is how many days are in 18 years? 6,570. I know it's kind of like, what? And to know how many you have left, just find any device, do it on, paper, whatever you want to do, figure out how many days it's been since their birthday, and then subtract that from 6570. Then you'll know how much runway you have left in order to build this foundation that she needs in order to become a self-disciplined leader. Now, how you do it and what self-disciplined leader in your child looks or is going to look like is different than mine. I have 4 daughters. Each one of them will be different and is different right now, right? But the foundation is a must. Okay. Again, self-worth, self-esteem, which is value and appreciation for yourself, and then getting to a place of confidence so they can stand on, lean on, jump from, grow from this foundation for the rest of their lives. What happens here is used for the rest of their lives. Okay. But what I wanted to talk to you about today is, like I said, I had an experience just last week where one of my own passed that bridge. Now they're in the 6570 plus, AKA young adulthood right now, right? And I noticed myself, things just looked different that day. They felt different that day. Have you had a kiddo that has passed that 18-year-old mark, right? Things just felt a little different. And I had some pre-thought going into this, and I really wanted to set myself up for success. And then in retrospect, I had even more clarity, and I wanted to share that with you. So, in order to prepare as a parent, now I talk about what we can do for our daughters all the time, but now I'm just talking to you like mom to mom, right? Or parent to parent right now. What you can do to prepare yourself for this bridge that's going to be coming up. So, do you have a senior in high school? Do you have someone that is going to be turning 18 soon? What does that look like for you? So, I'm going to go over mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, at least 4 things in each one. So you're going to walk away from here with 16 things that you can use in order to prepare yourself for this transition that is coming up. Okay. So let's start with physically, because people are often like, I don't understand what you could possibly be talking about physically. Am I going to pump some iron and then be ready? What are you talking about, Nellie? You have a punching bag. I actually have one right out of camera shot right there, right? We have a punching bag in here. Very cathartic when you're raising young women, for the young women, and also for parents sometimes too, not going to lie. Punching bags are great, but that's not what I'm talking about. Okay. So physically, the more fit you are, the more emotionally centered you're going to be as well, right? Move the body, move the mind, right? Move the body, move the heart, all of those things. So if we are taking in things that are balanced, if we are moving our body, if we are getting our endocrine system in check, then we are much less likely to go off the rails with our emotions later on. Okay. So the more fit you are, the more your emotions will be in check. And ironically, I didn't plan this, honestly, but looking back, this year, 2023, I decided to make this my year of wellness. Well, I am certainly glad I did, because just in the past 4 months, I have been able to make changes in my life, make changes in my diet, make changes in my habits that have really helped align me and get me more centered, even though I'm going through sometimes what feels like a tornado on the outside. And if you're a senior parent, you know what I mean, right? There's so many things that are happening. But here are some things, your 4 things out of your physical wellness, right? Pampering yourself in the way that you love. I'm not going to tell you how to pamper yourself. You need to know how to pamper yourself. For some people, that's a pedicure. For other people, that looks like gardening. For other people, that looks like painting. For other people, that looks like a marathon run or an ultra marathon run, whatever that is. But pamper yourself physically in order to stay grounded in your surroundings. because it's really easy to just feel like you are floating out there. I call it the buoy principle, right? You're floating out there. You have nothing to grab onto. You're not drowning, but you have nothing to grasp. And so pampering yourself in a way that grounds you is going to be very beneficial for you. Next is meditation, right? Meditation, you don't have to unless you want to right? Whatever you want to do, but having that meditation in stillness so that you can be grounded again. It comes to that physical grounding, but get grounded in your body so you can deal with what's mentally and emotionally happening in you too. Okay. Go outside because the sunshine is always good for you. And then getting the angst out with whatever that is. Like I said, you want to get moving. That might be for emotional stability, but maybe you just have all this pent up, like, oh, I want to do this. And you need to do something else in order to get the angst out. Because there's a lot of transition happening. So much change is going to be happening. So much change is on the horizon. And you might be looking at that and saying, oh my goodness, I don't know what to do. Where did the time go? And I had this and this and this I wanted to do. The time and the year is running out and I still need to do this and this. And they're angsty and you're angsty and it's all happening, right? So do something, walking, biking, boxing, baking, running, whatever will get your angst out so that you can be grounded. So all four of those principles, again, pampering, meditation, getting outside, and getting the angst out with something are all in order to ground you. Okay. So let's talk about mentally, right? What's going on up here and the top of our head. So one thing I would highly recommend, especially through the whole year if you can, but if you didn't and you want to start now when you're listening to this, do it now. And that is journaling. Okay. So you are going to have so many things bottled up, your emotions and your ponderings in your head, and you need to get them out. So it's not this cloud that is clouding up here. Okay. You want to actually get it on paper and think about it. Your identity is shifting again, right? You've been through this before. You've left home on your own, right? You had a new job. You had a baby, right? Maybe you started a new career, even whatever that is. You've been through big transitions before. You have your sea legs much more than your daughter does at this point of what it means to go through a big transition. And you know it's hard. They think that it's going to be hard, but they don't know that it's going to be hard yet, but you know, okay? So some things to keep in mind, right? So your identity is shifting. And if you know that, you can anticipate it, then you'll be able to get your sea legs on you. It's like you're out in a ship and you're like, okay, I can't just stand here, right? I need to be able to be more fluid. So journal, get it all out onto paper. And then also know that the transition and the identity shifting is coming up. Be proud of all the work that you did. There was so much work. You guys, there's so much work in raising kids. So much. When I think back on the 6,000 days 6,500 and I don't know, 75 days now that have preceded this, there's so much work, right? Just be proud of yourself. I'm proud of you. I'm super proud of you. I mean, high five, right? I am so proud of you for all the work that you put in, but I want you to be proud of yourself too. All right. It makes a world of difference. And then something outwardly that you can do is set up a date with a new friend. Set up a date with a new friend so that you can know there's life after this. I'm going somewhere. Things are going to be exciting. I'm going on new adventures, right? So set up something that is in the future. All right. Okay. So then we have spiritually. So we've gone over physical and we've gone over mental so far. Now, spiritual is understanding that this transition is a big time. It's a big time. Transition is a big time when the evil one or the devil or Satan, whatever you want to call him, can come in to your open door. It might only be cracked, but you have so much angst and anxiety and stress and things that are going on and your heart is breaking a little bit, but you're also so excited for this human that you've raised to go out into the world, right? And you can leave the door open a little bit there, and that doubt, that regret, that sadness, right, can really seep in and take you into a downward spiral. Shame. That was the word I was trying to think of. for whatever. It's probably not even a shameful thing, but you're going to feel it because you left the door open a little bit. So how do we not keep the door open, right? So number one, pray. Pray a lot during this time. Just have, that can be part of your journal time too. Just pray, get it all out. It doesn't need to make sense to anybody but you, right? Just pray, ask for guidance, ask for a soft heart, ask for comforting during this time, but just pray and know that you are always with him. Okay. Always with God. And then dive into the word, right? I have mine right here all the time, right here. Boop, boop. And, but I have it with me all the time right there because I know I can find comfort there. Now, keep in mind too, I went 30, I want to say 33 years of my life without God in my life. Now I've lived, well, the last 12 years with God in my life, right? I've seen both sides of the spectrum. Guys, it's so much better with him. And you know that you have that comfort right there. So dive into the word, see where it takes you, see what counsel you get from there. Serve others. Okay. When you are out there and you are serving others, you are being put into purpose, you're being put into belonging, and it can really go far for hurting hearts. And then seek counsel of those that have already gone before, right? You hopefully have a community out there. Hopefully you have a Christian community out there that you can talk to people that have had kids that have left home, right? Seek counsel. And it's not so they can tell you, excuse me. It's not so they can tell you do this, then do that, right? It's so they can say, yeah, this is really going to hurt. This really does hurt, but I'm here for you. It's really going to hurt, but I can give you a hug. It's really going to hurt, but you're going to be okay. And your relationship is going to grow even more, right? So seek the counsel of those that have gone before you. And lastly, we have emotionally, right? So give yourself grace here, guys. This is going to be an emotional roller coaster. And it kind of reminds you never know which one's going to be on top. It's like Jenga, like an emotional Jenga. You've all played that, right? Not emotional, but you've played Jenga, and you take one out, you put it on top, and then you take another one out and you put it on top. And you never know at any given time which emotion's going to be on top or when the whole thing is going to crumble, right? And so being able to stabilize and be grounded in your emotions, super key during transitions. And the transition of your daughter turning 18 or your daughter leaving home is no exception to that, right? So take breaks when you need to take the breaks. If things are just getting too crazy, either in a negative way or just in a sad way, take the breaks, go on a walk, do the physical things we talked about, right? Let it out, guys. Just if you have to cry, cry. It's okay. No one is expecting you to be strong all the time during any transition, right? And there's so many transitions that come with life, whether the ones we already talked about, but in your family, sometimes there's a death, right? Sometimes there's a divorce. Sometimes someone leaves to go somewhere else, whatever that is. All of these transitions, no one expects you to be super strong the whole time. If you have to cry, cry. It's totally okay. And then something that I find really, really effective, and I've mentioned this a few times in different scenarios, but write a letter. Write a letter of gratitude and appreciation to your daughter, just talking about how just grateful you are for the last 6,570 days and how you were able to spend that time together, how she was able to come into your life, whether she was birthed, adopted, whatever that is. But really talk about how grateful you are. It is so cathartic and so healing for both of you. And then get a meaningful gift for her that she knows, so she knows that you are always there. There's so many great ideas for this. There's lamps that you can get that you can touch, and you know the person's thinking about you if they're moving out. If they're not moving out, right? My next three daughters will turn 18 in the beginning of their senior year. This daughter is turning 18 at the end of her senior year. But we got her a bracelet that was a tree, and we wanted to just make sure she always knows that she is rooted in love and where her roots come from, right? And then she's going to blossom into this beautiful young woman with a beautiful, amazing life because of the foundation or the roots that have been here, right? And so get her a gift that, if you feel led in that way, that will signify that to her from you. Okay. So when we have our kids, we're not thinking of, when we first have our kids, we're like, oh my goodness, such a big responsibility and I need to raise you and do this. We're not thinking of the end, right? Nor should we be, but we're not thinking of the end. But something to always keep in mind is we're not raising kids. We're raising people. We're raising good humans. We're raising self-disciplined leaders. We are raising people that are equipped to go out into the world, right? We're not raising kids. We're raising people. And so that is a shift that happens, and you can think it and know it's true, but you don't know it until it's really upon you. And that can be a really big shift in the heart. So take these spiritual and mental and emotional and physical tools that we talked about today, see which ones resonate with you. And it might be some of those, it might be something completely different, but at least understand, if you get nothing else out of today, prepare yourself. Prepare yourself for the transition coming. There's many transitions in life. We have no idea when they're coming, right? This one, This one, and you can prep for. You can do some heart work and head work and body work and all the things in order to prepare for it, so that it can be as smooth a transition as absolutely possible. Okay, so if you want to learn more about this foundation that we keep talking about of worth, esteem, and confidence, and the who, what, where, why, when, and how of what to do with this, yes, there is even a where. Where do I build this foundation, right? Of course, it's in your daughter and with your daughter and for your daughter, but where in the grand scheme of life do I build this? I will tell you. Be sure to click on the link down below for the daughter decoder, and it will walk you straight through what your next steps are for this amazing foundation for your daughter. Okay, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope this helped. Hugs to other, senior moms or other parents that are just crossing over that bridge of that 18, or maybe it's on the way, or maybe you have a 12-year-old and you're like, oh my goodness, I only have this many days left, right? I got you. It's okay. Big hugs to you. High fives for all the work that you have done and that you are doing. And just prepare yourself. All right? Because we need to take care of ourselves so we can turn around and take care of our families as well. So have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you guys later. All right. Bye.